What's going on YouTube? You got Matt here, and welcome to another top 6 video. Today we're going to be covering the top 6 rock type Pokemon after you guys voted in the straw poll link in the description in last week's video, which was about the top 6 psychic type Pokemon. Now, you guys seem to enjoy the new rebrand that we had with the series. Now, instead of just going on Showdown and showing you what stats, abilities, move pools it gets, I'm just going to be going over the slides that I created beforehand that will allow you to get a more compact look of what these mons can do. So, to start off, we're going to be going over the Pokemon's stats, abilities, their move pools, some good teammates that these mons could use in the Draft League format. One of my favorite sets to use, whether that's in the format or while laddering. And this goes true for all of the top 6 videos, that this list is completely my opinion. So if you guys disagree with something, make sure to let me know in the comment section below, and tell me where I went wrong and what you think I should have replaced. Also, there are going to be no Mega Pokemon on this list because, I mean, it's just another list for another video. Finally, well, not finally, but second to last, we have the fact that the type comes first. So we're going to be looking at these Pokemon as rock types. So if they have a secondary typing, we're going to be looking at that after the fact. So the rock type will always come first, and then this will always be taking place in the classic Draft League format, so no Pokemon. So without further ado, let's get started and get into the top 6 rock type Pokemon in the Gen 7 Draft League format. Coming in at number 6, we have Tyrantrum, and Tyrantrum's stats are pretty well rounded. I mean, the only real weak stat is the special defense. We don't really care about the special attack. I mean, this thing does have bad special defense, like really bad, but it's good enough to where it can be effective in other areas as a sweeper, as a wall breaker, as a really effective choice band user. So Tyrantrum can be very good in the format if given a chance. Now, the good thing about Tyrantrum is it's usually found in the lower tiers, maybe tier 4 or tier 5, and it's a tremendous wall breaker. It has amazing coverage options and 2 great abilities that can really fit what you want to do. My favorite set would definitely have to be the Air Balloon set. This way, you can come in on something that's locked into a ground move, and then just go for a Dragon Dance and potentially win the game. Some teammates that would pair with these things would be Sharpedo, just because it's a powerful wall breaker, a late game cleaner actually. Then Azumarill, because that's a powerful wall breaker. I got the 2 mixed up for a second. And then Whimsicott, because it's a great support option and it also allows you to be immune to the Fairy type, but immune to the Dragon typing. At number 5, we have Aerodactyl, and Aerodactyl is very, very interesting. It's the OG rock type, in my opinion. It has 130 base speed and 105 attack, but that's the end of its good stats. After that, they're all kind of mediocre or terrible. Nothing really special about this mon, except it allows a lot of support options, and no one really gives this thing a chance unless they really needed a defogger or really need something quick. So they really kind of ignore Aerodactyl. But looking at its options, it has a lot of great niche coverage moves. You have access to Fire Blast, you have Aqua Tail, Sky Drop is very interesting if you want to do a Toxic Stalling set. You have Tailwind, which is a very good supportive move, and you have Taunt, Stealth Rocks, and Defog, which can all be very useful. It has 3 abilities. They're all useful in their own right. I think you're going to see Pressure more than anything else, especially because Rock Head, I mean, you need to run like Head Smash or something like that for it, and Unnerve doesn't always isn't always useful. Looking at at my preferred move set for it, I have it's a defensive set actually with a Rocky Helmet, so it's a very interesting set. Taunt, Roost, Stealth Rock, and Rock Slide. This has enough coverage so I can hit a decent amount of things. Rock is a very good offensive typing, and it allows us to get off fast taunts, to roost up damage, and then to just provide support with Stealth Rocks. Some good teammates would have to be Primarina, Scizor, and Latias. 2 of them can defog, and then Primarina is just a fantastic wall breaker. So yeah, that's Aerodactyl. At number 4, we have Cradle, and Cradle is one of the most interesting Pokemon I have on this list. Its stats are all over the place, very interesting stats. Its abilities, kind of weird, with Storm Drain and Suction Cups. Its move pool is kind of wide, but at the same time very limited. It's a very interesting mon. You have access to a large number of physical moves to be a good physically offensive mon, and a really wide variety of especially offensive moves. I think the best part about this is it gets a decent amount of setup options with Curse and Swords Dance. You also have access to Mirror Coat, which makes it this thing can be a very good Assault Vest user if you really need it to be. And you have Reliable Recovery and Recover, of course, and Cradle is always underrated. It's always found in tier 5s whenever I'm playing. I think it should be moved up. and I think it would also be in the lower points totals in point drafts. Looking at its preferred move pool, we have a curse set that says Stone Edge and Rock Slide. It should be Rock Slide and Seed Bomb, I believe it gets, or Seed Bomb and Earthquake, or whatever, you get the point. And some of its preferred teammates would have to be, I put Ghost types in because they are immune to the Fighting type. Also, they are really powerful wall breakers, Gengar and a little Marowak, and I have Dugtrio just to trap those Steel types with Arena Trap, even though it is now banned. Number 3 is Nihilego, and Nihilego, again, another interesting Pokemon. You look at it and it doesn't seem very useful. I mean, its stats are kind of all over the place. Again, you have 4 stats that are over 100, 2 of them that are well over 100, and then 2 stats that are well below 60. So it's interesting. But anyways, Nihilego is a very, very fast and strong Pokemon once given the chance to set up with a Beast Boost. You look at its moves, it has a really wide variety of moves. It can be very supportive as well with Reflect and Light Screen, Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rocks. It has access to Trick Room to provide some support for a slower team. And yeah, my favorite Nihilego set would have to be the Choice Scarf set. This thing has won me a few battles while laddering, and I just can't get it out of my head. I love using it. Some teammates for it would definitely have to be Mega Charizard. Why? Because it allows to break holes. Tapu Bulu, because you can create the grassy terrain, which it might be useful a little bit. It's not really going to live in Earthquake, a stab Earthquake from anything, but I mean a non-stab Earthquake from something might be livable. And then finally Zygarde 50%, because it allows, well, it breaks holes enough so that Nihilego can come in and finish off the game with its Beast Boost. At number 2, we have the obvious Tyranitar. Ttar is the first pseudo that is a rock type. I think it's the only pseudo that's a rock type actually, and it's very, very strong. You look at its stats; they're all amazing. I mean, there really isn't a bad stat in the bunch. It's bulkier than the what is it called? The Pixie Pokemon, having 100, 110, 100 defenses. The only issue is it has a 4 times weakness to fighting, but that is manageable because you can pair this thing with some Ghost types, with some Fairy types, and you can really allow yourself to create a decent core around Tyranitar to make it successful. It has Sandstream, which can allow it to be an effective support mon for sand users like Excadrill, or like Landorus Eye without Sheer Force, or even Stoutland. Yeah. And looking at its move pool, you have a really wide variety of moves, and when I say wide variety, I really mean it. Pursuit, Crunch, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Low Kick, Rock Polish, Superpower, Stealth Rock, you have Taunt, you have Counter, you have a few Elemental Punches, you have a bunch of special coverage like Fire Blast, Ice Beam, I believe you get T-Bolt, you get you get Dark Pulse, sorry. And my favorite set would have to be an Assault Vest set, because this way, with the Sandstream up, you have an amazing special defense stat, because the Sandstream boosts your special defense by 1.5 times, or by 1 stage I believe, and the Assault Vest does the same thing, so your 100 special defense becomes a 200 base special defense. It's insane. Some teammates I would pair with this thing would obviously be Excadrill. I would pair Mimikyu, because Mimikyu is a great Ghost type that is immune to the Fighting type, and even if they decide to predict your switch in with Mimikyu by going for another move like a Ghost move, you still have your Disguise so that you aren't going to be taken out with one shot. And then finally I would also pair with Tapu Fini. Not the best pairing in my eyes, but I think it works well enough. The only reason it doesn't work that well is because of the Sandstorm, which can cause some damage to Tapu Fini since it doesn't have reliable recovery. But I find that they pair really well in terms of typing. Moving on to number 1. Before I get there, guys, I just want to make sure that you guys vote in the the straw poll link in the description down below on what type you would like to see next. Next week will be between the ground typing and the dark type, so make sure to vote on that, and I will have the next video out for you next week on Thursday. Also, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new for more Draft League content. So, number 1, we have Terrakion, and Terrakion is the clear-cut, obvious number 1 option for me, and Terrakion is just fantastic. You look at its stats, really only weak one is special attack, and you're not going to be using special attack on your Terrakion that much anyways. I mean, I think you could run Focus Blast and Earth Power, but that's pretty much it, I guess, in terms of special moves. Its attack is off the charts. 129 attack is amazing, and we were looking at Ttar's 134 attack, I believe it was. So Terrakion can still really break holes, and it's usually ran with a Life Orb or a Choice Band or a Choice Scarf, because it is a very unique speed tier at 108. You look at its moves. You get access to Quick Attack, which is a great form of priority, well, a decent form of priority. You have Poison Jam and Iron Hit for fairies, Stealth Rock, you have Sacred Sword if you don't want to run close combat, you have Taunt, X Scissors, Zen Headbutt, Roar, close combat like I mentioned before. This thing can be very, very effective, especially as a Z user as well. So my favorite set would definitely have to be a Life Orb set with Swords Dance. That way you don't have to go for the Swords Dance on turn 1. You can use your insane offenses to just break down teams, and if you can get in the right switch, a Swords Dance can win you the game. Someone that I would pair with it would definitely be the Tapu Fini. It weakens the power of the ground type, well, the dragon type moves, and it stops potential burns from coming in on what's it called? On Terrakion, there we go. And then I would also have an Azelf, because Azelf is a great suicide lead. It can create a lot of momentum, and it's a really good specially offensive mon that can create holes for Terrakion. And then finally I have Magnezone there just to trap those steel types. This could also be Dugtrio, but I felt like Magnezone would allow a bit more variety for you guys. So that is the top 6 rock type Pokemon in the Gen 7 Draft League format. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, so make sure to vote in the drop link in the description on the next type between the ground type and the dark type, and I will see you all next time. Bye.